Shall Hello, how are you doing? It's Tom here with another instalment of learning Welsh at the Sylfaen level. If you want to learn Welsh at Mynediad, then you can look back at my videos on Pure West Radio's YouTube page, where you'll see all my vlogs, including from my sister Abigail when we were learning together. But we're on the Sylfaen level at the moment, and we're in this weird little place now where we're overlapping units at the end of the week. So whereas before it was like start a unit on Tuesday, finish the unit on Thursday, we're now running through these units. So like we're partway through on a Thursday, and then we'll finish on the Tuesday, and then partway through on the Thursday. But that's fine. If anything, it's nice to blur the edges of the units in a roundabout kind of way, because that's how conversations in life are. If you remember from last week's video, we're currently looking at pwy, beth, faint, pryd, sut, ble and pam. So all of the questions. And it's interesting now, actually, even though we're on units 18 and 19, we are very much gearing up for the exams, which are taking place June 17th. I think that's when it is. And I've done that awful thing of giving out like your driving test date, and you don't want everyone to know, but now you know, so I need to properly revise. And it's weird because we're going back over lots of things that we've done in Mynediad. So it's very clever what Sylfaen's done, because when you start Sylfaen, you start off with like a revision unit from Mynediad after I successfully passed my Mynediad exam. It was only the speaking, whereas the exam I'm doing in June is going to be the speaking, the listening and the writing. That's it, I think. But either way, it's going to be a full day's worth of exams. And we're recapping these basics, but adding tiny little incremental things on them. So if you remember earlier on this series, we talked about prepositions. So we're adding them properly now into our conversations. And we're doing far more examples of what to expect at the exam. And we're trying to discuss more as well. So the listening exam speaks for itself. They're going to play clips 3 times, and we need to write down what they're saying or answer questions based on what they're saying or fill in boxes based on what they're saying. And it's great that they do it 3 times because the pace is quite rapid. So it's really useful that you just need to scribble it down as fast as you can, get as much done as you can in the first one, and then come back and then fill in the gaps on the second and third one. So there was an example that we had, which was based on as I think it was a job interview. So who was it? What was their phone number? What was their address? What was their email address? And what was their birthday? And so the example that I've got here that I can read. So we had Llynnos Sian Rogers. Her number was 01435 758 940. She lived in Cwrtacai, Rhydaman. And her email is llynnos.sian at... I can't read my own writing. I don't know, region.cymru, I think it is. And she was born on Tachwedd 17th, 1980. So of course you need to pay attention to your handwriting, because if the examiners can't read it, then they can't give it to you correctly. But they're not necessarily marking spelling. They are marking your understanding of the word. So in that particular example, as long as they were aware that I'd got the gist of what was being said, in theory, I shouldn't be marked too grossly negatively for misspelling something because of the speed and then the pressure and whatnot. The writing part, though, you will be judged on your spelling, because that's the whole purpose of it. So that was really interesting to do. Also, we're still going through our different themes of what we're going to be expected to talk to our examiner about. So we looked at dallu, to celebrate. So, gyda'ch partner ysgrifennwch le chwer gair ar y thema dallu. So with your partner, write 6 sentences, or 6 words, sorry, about the theme to celebrate. So we had yfed, dansio, canu, bwyta, siarad, champagne, and rhegion, gifts. And then it's up to us then to put these into sentences and into phrases that we could use in the exam. So that's really cool. And we also did another exercise based on a poster which has got missing information. And what we need to do as part of that exam technique is we need to pose questions to get the answer that we need from the poster. And in fact, that's our gwaith catref over half term. There's one coming up in the next unit as well. Unit 19, is it? Or is it, are we up to 20 now? Are we going to be? No, it's still 19. End of 19. So we might get back into unit 20 and start on a Tuesday and finish on a Thursday. So we'll see. But we had a look at directions again, another Mynediad unit. And we had a lovely map and we had to try and guide another group to our destination. And of course we overcomplicated it. We went to the bank first to afford the vet fees. So Dewch allan o'r ganolfan Hamden. So exit the leisure centre, trowch i'r chwith, so turn left, ymlaen yn syth, so straight over, well, ymlaen yn syth dros y gylchfan, straight over the roundabout, arhoswch ar y ffordd, so stay on the road, and ewch heibio'r dafan, so go past the pub, and trowch i'r chwaith, wedyn trowch i'r dde. So turn left and then right, and then that's how you got to the bank. Mae'r bank ar y dde. So it was great because we got to do directions, but we're also going back over commands. And going back to what I was saying before, Sylfaen's very clever because we started off with a revision, then we learned some new things like preposition, like actual thinking stuff. And now we're going back over all these things that we've done in the past. So like directions, like giving commands. So we know about ewch, so eisteddwch, to sit, darllenwch, and this is where eggs crack, eds roll. So you get rid of the e's and g's and the eds, and that's when you put the uchs in, or the as. So we did that. Apart from the other ones, mynd becomes ewch, dod becomes dewch, gwneud, gwnewch, troi, trowch, rhoi, rhowch, bod, byddwch, which confused a few of us because byddwch we've got in our heads as future tense, that you will be doing something. So it's just something to be mindful of. And then of course you've got the informal, where you add an a at the end of the word instead of the ewch. So eistedda as opposed to eisteddwch, to sit. Then we had to go going through a paragraph. That's kind of where we got to, with a little bit of revision on care, so to go somewhere or to come here, so dera and care. And I posted a video on social media, and one of my friends commented with dera. So dera mewn or, oh, I don't know what outside is. I can't remember the phrase exactly, but that's the gist. And I knew what the gist was because I've been learning Welsh. Fantastic. And if you're interested in learning Welsh, first of all, St David's Day, there's a parade happening in Haverfordwest on the morning, Tuesday the 1st, through the town of Haverfordwest, going down the high street, so you can be involved in that. There's also something very exciting coming to Cymraeg. And also, if you want to try learning Welsh in a digital setting, there is going to be Span Arts are doing a free session with Thomas Mynediad. So sign up. There's details on the Pure West Radio Facebook page. It's free and it's online, but you still need to get your ticket. So head on over to Span Arts to see whether or not it's something that you're interested in doing. And mewn hewch, which means enjoy as a command. Mewn hewch. And gwele I chi, well, not this week or next week, but the week after, because it's half term. Enjoy the rugby. It's England versus Wales. What are your predictions? Take care. Hwyl am y tro.